Everyone, this is Nicholas, JMV. We're going to be solving trig equations today, and we are going to do that by factoring. So I got two examples for you. So the idea here is factoring. Something's in common. So here's our equation. Solve the equation tangent of x times sine squared of x equals 3 tangent of x, and we want that from 0 to 2 pi. So let's go ahead and rewrite our problem. So tangent of x sine squared of x equals 3 tangent of x. So let's get tangent on one side. So I'm going to subtract 3 tangents from both sides of our equation. So I get this. Okay, so they're not common here. So what you see here is you have two terms, nothing in common besides a tangent. You can't combine, they're not like terms. So what I'm going to do here is factor out the tangent. So I'm going to factor out my tangent of x, and I'm left with sine squared of x minus 3 is equal to 0. So the zero product property tells us that if you multiply two things together and your product is 0, one of them has to be 0. Okay, so or sine squared x minus 3 equals 0. Tangent is 0. What angle, helps us? What angle can we get when we have tangent of 0? What gives us tangent of 0? Well, that's when x is equal to 0 or x equals pi. Now, we're not using 2 pi because of the domain restriction here. So that's the zeros here. Now, if we look at sine squared, we got a little bit of work to do. So we have sine squared x equals 3. To undo a square, we square root. So you have sine of x equals plus or minus root 3. There's the danger here for this problem right there. That's greater. So if you think of absolute value, it doesn't matter. That's going to be greater than the absolute value plus or minus 1. This is not in the range. There's no solution here. So our only two solutions are 0 and pi. That's it for this particular problem. So let's go ahead and look at one more, okay? And it's similar. We're going from 0 to 2 pi, and we're looking at sine of x, tan x. I'll be done just a minute. That was Miss Song popping in to say hi. So we have sine x, tan x equals sine x. Okay, same idea. Bring the sign over. So we have sine of x, tangent of x, minus sine x equals 0. Factor out again here and here. Factor out the sign. So we factor out the sign, and we're left with tangent of x minus 1 equals 0. So when does sine of x equal 0? Or when does tangent of x minus 1 equal 0? Well, we know that sine equals 0 at 0 and at pi. Okay, we have to solve this for tangent. So when does tangent of x equal 1? Well, tangent of x equals 1 at pi over 4, all right, and also at 5 pi over 4, okay? So we have two solutions here, two solutions here. So I did the second example because I didn't want you to think every one of these factoring problems will have one that's undefined. So you just got to look at your equation and determine whether or not the solution's in the domain or the range. So that is factoring, solving trig equations by factoring. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. We'll see you next time.